Hello, good listeners, and welcome back to the channel. We have a special guest here today.
Hello.
Thomas has been a very, very good friend of really the entire Speechify house for more than a year now.
Exactly a year.
So right now we're in our house in London, and Thomas is visiting us from Paris, where he's been staying for the last few months. We wanted to A, introduce you guys to Thomas because he's awesome, and B, talk about our experience really growing together. And there's a really cool concept that we have in the Speechify family, which is that not only are we constantly working really hard on Speechify, but we're constantly growing in many different ways. Intellectually, in terms of finding adventures, spiritually, in terms of fitness, etc. And Tommy has been along on the ride with us for quite some time now.
Yeah. Well, I met you through Amar. Anyone who's unfamiliar, Amar is one of the founding members of Yes Theory, which is the company that I'm a part of.
Tommy is the reason for the magic behind Yes Theory. So if you have ever cried during a Yes Theory video, if you have felt deep emotions, every single time I look at something that you did, I'm blown away.
Thank you. Wow, I'll take all the ego boost I can get.
Oh, I'll keep going.
Keep going.
Yes Theory really wouldn't exist as it is today without Tommy.
Wow, you're actually going.
So we first met through Amar.
About a year ago, and then we basically came over one day, and you guys had just moved to LA, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Just moved into a house near us in Venice. Basically, you were like, oh yeah, by the way, we have like this gym in the back. And I was like, you have a gym in the back? We're in the middle of COVID and everything's locked down, so actually would be dope to work out with a bunch of guys and like actually see what I can do. And you're like, yeah, come over whenever.
And then Tommy started coming over every single day for like 3.5 months.
I texted you and be like, work out? And you're like, I'm busy, but these guys are here. Everyone on this team is like willing to help and like to be there for each other and to be there for even like people they just met, which is like extremely rare to find. Just the attitude of acceptance and the attitude of like, yeah, like come in whenever. Whoever wants to come can come and like get in this atmosphere of working out, of like being there together, of talking and just like being together, which is really cool. I've only experienced that once, and that was with like Yes Theory during the early days. When we all lived in the same house together, it was the same kind of vibe of like, we're all in this together, we're all kind of brothers and sisters here, and it's just like a lot of fun. So that lasted like 3 or 4 months, and then you guys moved to Miami, and then my workout regimen went down. And since I was already in Europe and you guys were in this beautiful mansion.
Yeah.
That was like, I definitely had to make time for it. And even though the world's in lockdown, I was like, screw it. I'm coming, even though it makes no sense.
What do you think allows for the magic that Yes Theory has as a group and the magic the Speechify has in a group, and how can other people spark that magic?
I think the main two things is being vulnerable and also being accepting. Having the space to like be truly yourself and to like kind of show your weakness and show who you are, and also being like unconditionally accepting and to just like take in whoever wants to come in, or you know, just not ever judging anyone.
So you joined when you were in college, right? You dropped out of college to do it.
Yeah, I dropped out. I was 19.
You were 19?
Yeah.
And were you going to college in Canada at the time?
Yeah, to McGill University. I was studying math.
It's a pretty ballsy move to leave college to go be an editor on a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
How'd you make that decision?
For context, my dad went to Harvard and is a doctor. My mom is a lawyer. I'm the only person in my entire extended family who doesn't have a college degree. It was really hard, mainly because, yeah, it's just societal pressure from family pressure. I kind of like saw the way my life was going and wasn't happy with it, and it made me really sad. So I wanted to like get out in the environment and like do something different. And this is just the time when Yes Theory went to LA. I was like, okay, I've done 2 years of math and it's like getting more theoretical and like I'm not even that passionate about it. I'm like, I'm good at it, but I'm not like enjoying it. If I keep doing this, I'm just gonna keep doing math and then I'll probably either get like a banking job or something.
Did you already realize that editing and the humor and the emotional pulse was a zone of genius for you?
Was what?
Zone of genius.
Zone of genius.
So there's a concept, especially in video games, called being in flow. Being in flow means that the thing is like sufficiently hard, where there's always a challenge to get better, but you're also really freaking good at it. And that's like one of the most enjoyable things in the world. For you, I'm sure you feel that way when you're doing editing, because you're really good at it, but you're always pushing yourself to be better at it, but you're also world-class at it.
I didn't even think about it, to be honest. I just enjoyed it. And I just felt like I'd been watching YouTube since I was like 13, so I knew like the atmosphere and the vibe of it. And I just wanted to do something fun. And I knew that when I first watched like what my brother was doing, what the guys were doing with Yes Theory, I was like, oh, this is gonna blow up. Like, there's nothing like this on YouTube, and I'm just so happy like that they're doing it. I kind of like came as a favor. Like Matt just basically like was kind and allowed me to join with them for a few weeks, and it turned out they needed an editor at the time.
So how does it feel now when the channel has like really come into its own?
There's a thing about like getting to the top of a mountain and realizing there's like a second mountain.
So what's the second mountain now?
I think the second mountain is like expanding beyond YouTube and like expanding the ethos of it. At least for me, like something I really want to do is focus on like physical spaces and actually like helping the community organize and actually getting people to like do it in their lives. It doesn't mean like dropping everything you're doing and like quitting your job and like going traveling, but it means like I think one of the hardest things in modern society is to build community.
Yes.
It's like one of the things that we had like through religion or through like little tribes or small towns have that, but as you move like more into cities, I think it's so hard to like find community. So that's one of the things I really want to build with Yes Theory. Like we have a unique chance to like help a lot of people find each other, people with like similar I guess states of mind. Because there's no better feeling than belonging. Obviously, belonging to something that you don't agree with is terrible, but belonging to something where you feel like you can be truly yourself is like the only reason to live. And I didn't really feel that until I joined Yes Theory. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I can be as weird as I want, I can be as funny as I want, and like I feel totally unrestricted. I want to create that community for other people, and I think we have a chance to do that that we haven't like fully taken yet. So that's like the exciting next chapter, I think, of Yes Theory as the years go on. Besides just the content and the fun in the videos, which I also enjoy doing, is the helping people find each other, which is just magical.
What is the thing that has led to the success of Yes Theory, do you think?
I think, at least with us, persistence, and also just having each other's backs like through the rough parts. I mean, we didn't get paid, we didn't make money for 3 years. You know, I was like going to my own savings.
You didn't get paid for 3 years.
2 years, sorry, 2 years.
2 years. 2 years you didn't get paid, 0. Was that the right move? To do a job that you love but didn't get paid for?
When I first came on, we were hired by Snapchat, and so I was being paid for like the first month that I was there, but I quickly realized that I was the only one being paid and there was no money, and like there was no point in like draining the company like that.
You've been a huge supporter of Speechify for a long time now. What is the thing about Speechify as a thing that makes you excited?
Like what I'd never realized, because I'm not dyslexic, but I never realized how many people are. And Thomas is, and Amar is, and like even hearing how they struggled and like how they felt stupid in school when they aren't stupid, right? They're just like challenged in this way that I feel like is not seen a lot by society, and is not like fully comprehended. I'm sure it's opening doors and opening like different avenues of possibility for like millions of people. I think that's really amazing. This is like a huge issue, obviously, and it's cool that like you're actively solving it.
For someone sitting at home watching it who's 19 years old and wants to find their zone of genius, what they should be doing in life, what's the one thing that you would say to them to help them figure it out?
I think it's just about being genuine with yourself. And I think there's like a stigma like, oh, don't find a corporate job and like don't, do that. But I think just finding something that you're truly happy with, no matter what, is the key, right? Not letting the judgment of others around you shadow your thought. It's like the most generic advice ever. But I think for me, like I was going down the straight path of my parents and my family and society telling me like, oh, you should get this normal banking job. And I was like, actually, editing makes me happy, even though like I don't even see an income in this. So I think like if you follow something you're very genuine about, you'll get so good at it that it'll become a great profession.
Amazing. Tommy, thanks for being on the ride with us.
Till I die.
Till we die.
Amazing.